All right. Is the second CJP protest going to start? Well, the Cockroach Janata Party has announced youth mobilization on the 5th of September with a peaceful march from India Gate to the Delhi Police Headquarters led by the families of deceased NEET victims and victims of police brutality over the government's alleged failure to honour its July 25th commitments. Atul Ranjan joins us for more on this story. Atul, what can you tell us about this decision by the CJP?
Well, following what happened in the Supreme Court, where the Solicitor General, sort of appeared to not inclined towards, sharing the list of FIRs that were supposed to be taken down or, supposed to be, in a way backtracked on those investigations with the Supreme Court. That has, certainly sparked some conversations among the CJP, and CJP today organized their National Working Committee, meeting, and there they have decided that on September 5th, the Cockroach Janata Party would remobilize students and protesters, and they would carry forward a march towards Delhi Police Headquarters. And this is likely to be done in order to sort of protest against the whole situation that has emerged here. That what we are picking up is that the government sort of not being inclined towards reverting, taking back those FIRs against protesters, and that is something which the CJP has pointed out, that the government has in a way backtracked when it comes to taking back FIRs. And the CJP has also in fact given details that this whole protest would be led by the families of the deceased NEET victims as well as victims of police brutality, and some of the youth organizations and young citizens across the country. They have been called upon to join this whole protest march that has been organized.
Atul, also, of course, the CJP was going to be strategizing today on the way forward. For now, they've announced this youth mobilization on the September 5th. Have they given a strategy of what is to follow that as well? This, of course, is something that is being organized in Delhi. Are they looking at something pan-India? Also, do they know, have they given details about what they plan to do if this September 5th march does not get success in what they want? They are, of course, saying that right now they are disappointed with the government not honouring its commitments. Do they have a plan ahead if the government does still not agree?
Well, certainly that remains to be seen. But if you go by the previous statements that they had made, they had warned the government of a fresh sit-in as well, fresh round of protests at the Jantar Mantar if the government failed to honour their commitment allegedly. And now what we're given to understand is that they have called for a one-day protest from which is supposed to begin from India Gate to end at the Delhi Police Headquarters. But if that fails, that would be interesting to see what does the CJP do. Do they announce a fresh round of protests at the Jantar Mantar like they had done initially, or will they, maybe take this protest towards different parts of the country as well? Is something which remains to be seen. But certainly, what the CJP has said that reiterated that keep your word in all caps in their statement. They have mentioned asking the government, to not backtrack from the promise that they had made to the protesting students as well as those who are, the victims of the police.
Now the big question, of course, also is, Atul, will they get permission for this march? Will they get permission for this march from India Gate to Delhi Police Headquarters, Atul?
Yeah, but again, that remains to be seen because they have announced about the protest today, and certainly they'll have to seek Delhi Police's permission to protest against, Delhi Police Headquarters, ironically. But what remains to be seen is that, Delhi Police usually does not allow any sort of gathering, any sort of protest at the India Gate, given in the last few years, if you go by that trend. That would be interesting to see if they really allow. But what we have seen is that, even the Jantar Mantar protest, that the 36-day protest that happened at the Jantar Mantar, the permission was not granted even for that as well. Initially for the first few days, the protest was, the permission was indeed there. But later on, when that permission expired, we saw that the protest continued, and the Delhi Police, to their credit, they sort of, not really, disrupted a protest in any other way as well. So that would be interesting to see how do Delhi Police tackle in a scenario where they don't give permission, but the CJP continues with their call of the protest march against the Delhi Police at the Delhi Police Headquarters. It would be interesting to see how do they go forward, but they certainly give permission as they have done in the past.
All right. Let me also join now Vibhuti Narayan, former Uttarakhand DGP, who's with us on the broadcast. Vibhuti Narayan, how do you react to this these plans by the CJP to have this peaceful march? They are calling for youth mobilization on the 5th of September. They plan to march to the Delhi Police Headquarters.
In fact, it is very intriguing that CJP got permission for Jantar Mantar, and after the expiry of the permitted dates, they continued, and no coercive action was taken by the Delhi police to disperse them. So this time also I feel that they will get the permission. Problem is that Rahul Gandhi is gradually coming to the center stage. And to eclipse Rahul Gandhi, it is necessary that CJP they grow up as a parallel option. So let us see. But I personally feel that Delhi police will give permission to them.
Do you believe then that we could be seeing another round of CJP protests?
Yes.
They are saying that the government is not honoring their July 25th commitment, which is why they are resorting to this decision to march again, to plan another protest. Could we be seeing another round of protests?
Yeah, I personally feel that they will get the permission. And there will be some halla-gulla, some say another round of lathi charge. Because this is my hunch, this government wants to mellow down the effect of Rahul Gandhi's presence. Everywhere Rahul Gandhi is drawing big crowds, and spontaneous reaction we see from the youth. So CJP is ready to counter Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
So this is my personal, I may be wrong, but I personally feel that Delhi police will give them permission.
Do you believe the CJP is justified in going ahead with this march, demanding demanding dropping of cases further against the protesters, even though some of them are criminals?
If they are genuine, then why should not they take out such marches? After all, the government has promised that cases will be dropped, and some people being criminal is only an allegation which Delhi police is leveling.
Okay.
I don't think there is any truth in it.
Okay.
They can level anybody anti-national and criminal and whatever they feel like.
All right. Vibhuti Narayan, thank you for joining us with your perspective on this story. Also thanks to Atul, who joined us earlier.